Hello everyone. So now let's discuss the third video of your introduction section, which is Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct. So first of all, on the PMI website, you can go on the pmi.org and you can download the Code of Ethics sheet, which will talk about what are the things you should do in some kind of scenarios. An important topic, I would say around 5 to 6 questions you may expect from this particular section, an important one. What does this topic include? Behave ethically. PMI wants you to always behave ethically in any circumstance. Not just PMI, I or you also want to make sure you're always ethical. Comply with the laws and regulations. So this complying with the laws and regulations is an important statement because sometimes you are working on an uh, overseas environment and in a different country. So you have to make sure you are complying with the laws and regulations of that country, not just with where you are residing, but if you have been given an assignment outside the country, you have to make sure you comply with the laws and regulations of that country. Support PMI. If PMI reaches out to you with any questions and concern, always make sure that you're supporting them. If they reach out to you asking you about your colleague, your relative, your boss or anything, please make sure that you are giving right information to them. It's very important. Responsibility to the profession. See, what I'm doing right now, I'm actually I'm doing this point number 4, responsibility to the profession. I'm making sure that I'm giving more and more PMPs to this industry. So it's your job also to apply the PMI processes, whatever you will learn in this course. Eventually those all of these things are pretty good, and you will learn a lot. You will see the difference in the way you are managing the projects. Do the right thing even when it is not favorable. Yes, that's very important. Always make sure you're doing the right thing. If you think that you have to complain against anybody, you think the people are not doing ethical things, then you should be the one who is the first one who is complaining against them. Take the step. It's very, very important. So what does this topic include? Never deviate from the PMI processes. Always remember, there are 49 processes, there are 5 process groups, there are 10 knowledge areas. Please refer to your ITTO sheet, what you have. If you have not till now downloaded, go to the website www.eduhubspot.com and download under the resources section. I want you to make sure you see these ITTO sheet almost every time. Like I remember I took out couple of printouts of these sheets, and I stick them on my wall, and even in my restroom, in front of my office, like everywhere I had those sheets when I was preparing for the exam. I don't know, I'm not saying you have to do it, but it is something which would really help you. Cooperate fully whenever asked. So if PMI is asking you with some information, please be honest and please give the right information. Seek to problem solve. This is actually one of the tips and tricks which I taught you was, as a project manager, you have to be, you have to take a decision. You have to make sure that you're solving the problem. There would be 4 options where it will tell you that okay, A is a good option, B is a better option, C totally wrong answer, and D might be the best answer. See, read all 4 options. A and B might be good options, but are they really solving the problem which is described in the question? Ask this question to yourself. If they are, then yes, they might be the answer, but if they are not, then they are definitely not the answer. Like for example, if you see an option, it says scope management plan is a part of project management plan. Yes, that's a correct statement, but is it resolving something? So as a project manager, you need to make sure that you are solving that problem which is described in the question. Avoid and disclose conflict of interest. So what is this conflict of interest? Like for example, I'm a project manager, and I want to select a vendor for my project. Now, one of my neighbor who is, who bid for the project is bidding for the project. I came to know about it. See, If yes, of course I'm ethical, whatever things I do, I will probably not favor that person. I won't be biased at all, but it's my job to make sure I inform the management that I have a conflict of interest. He is somebody who lives nearby, and I don't want you guys to you come to know about it, and that goes against me. So in order to make sure that you're doing the right thing, always avoid and always disclose the conflict of interest. Then it's up to the panel if they want me to be part of the panel or not. If they want me to remove it, that's absolutely fine. But at least I am ethical because I informed everyone about it. Professional responsibility is not one of the 10 knowledge areas. Instead, it will touch all the areas of profession. So it's not one of the knowledge areas. There are only 10 knowledge areas, but it will touch each and every knowledge area over here. So there would be 5 chapters in this code of conduct. I think it's on page number 3 of PMBOK, but it's very briefly given. The in much more detail, there is a on the website there is a PDF document which you can download, 9 to 10 pages, which will talk about these 5 chapters. First is vision and applicability. Then we have responsibility. Third, we have the respect. Fourth, we have fairness. And 5, we have the honesty. So vision and applicability, chapter 1 of this code. Always advance the profession. Whatever I'm doing right now, I'm actually advancing the profession. I'm a PMP certified and I want you guys to become PMP certified. So the same way, try to talk to people, try to tell them if you really benefit out of it, that, this is something which has really helped you, and, you recommend it to others. But only recommend if you like it and if you are really getting the help. It's totally up to you. This applies to PMI members and non-members seeking or holding a PMI certification. Yes, so if you're seeking or holding a PMI certification, all of these rules apply to you. Even if you're not a member, but if you are PMP certified, this professional code of conduct will always apply to you. Subject to PMI ethics review committee. If there is some kind of issue, or you're not being ethical, or you did something wrong, it will go to the ethics review committee. What happens in ethics review committee is there's a group of some of the recognized names. They will read your case and they will take a decision whether you did the right thing or you did not do the right thing. It uphold values in the next four chapters. So all of these 4 chapters are very much related with each other. So this is chapter 1, which is vision and applicability. Chapter 2 is responsibility. So responsibility to uphold laws, rules and regulations and policies. Responsibility to report illegal conduct. If you see something is going wrong, you should be the first one to go against it. You should be the first one to complain to the necessary authorities about it. And if you travel to a different country, make sure you are upholding the laws, rules and regulations of that particular country. You need to respect those laws. Then third, we have the respect, which is respect for other customs, respect for other opinions, respect for other people, and polite behavior, no matter what. If your colleague is saying something different, this doesn't mean that you have to fight about it. No, respect their opinions. Maybe it may be wrong, and maybe it may be right. Respect for customs, right? See, this is a virtual world where we work with people all across the world. There are different customs, and you should be the one who should always respect those customers. So let's do a quick practice question. Um, Assume that you are working on a project. You started this project in January. You reached out to your team. You're a good project manager. You reached out to team and tell them that if you have any vacations planned, let me know. So you're working in a virtual environment. Your team is globally located, and you ask them, team, do you have any vacation plans? So there were a few people, those who gave you their dates and things like that, and based upon their availability, you laid out a project schedule. So you have a project schedule, and you laid out that this is where deliverable 1 would go live, this is where your deliverable 2 will go live, and you have framed it out pretty nicely. You have published it on the website so that everyone can see it, and you're regularly providing updates. Now it's, let's say it's November time frame, and two of your resources reached out to you asking you whether they want to take a leave. They want to take a leave for a week's leave because it's a very big festival in their home country. Now, and this is a festival which they already know, which the date is already published by the government of that country, that this is when that festival would be published. Now, what will you do at that scenario, at that time? And remember, an important deliverable is due the very next day. What will you do in such kind of scenario? Will you give the leave or will you not give the leave? Remember, you have to wear your PMI hat in order to answer this question. Let me give you the option. Option A is give the leave. Give the leave because it's their right. Don't give the leave because you did your best in telling them, and it's an important deliverable, you may lose money out of it, right? C, give the leave if they find a backup. If they find a backup, give them the leave. Tell them to work overtime, complete everything, and if they do, complete everything, and if they do, then give them the leave. So I repeat the question. You were very nice, you published the project schedule, you asked for leaves in the beginning, and there were few folks, those who did not reach out to you at that time, and at the time of your deliverable due date, they came and reached out to you for a 1 week leave because there was a big festival over there. Now, what would you do in that scenario? A, give them the leave. B, don't give the leave because you were ethical in the beginning, right? You were straightforward. C, give them the leave if they find a backup. And D, ask them, request them to do things in parallel. Do overtime, complete their work. If they can do it, give them the leave. See, in real world scenario, I'm not favoring any particular option. I'm not saying I will just reject the leave. I may, it just depends. Or I'm not saying that, I'll give them the leave if they find a backup, or, if they complete their work, I don't have any problem with that. It depends. I'm not favoring any particular option. But let's read all of these options. See, if they have the, if they have the right, then you will definitely, you can't reject their leave straightforward. So option number B goes. So which was, don't give the leave. So don't give the, sorry, I've written live. Don't give the leave. See, give the leave if they find a backup. Whose responsibility is to find the backup? Is it your responsibility, or is it your team member's responsibility? It can't be the answer. D, overtime, really, in this ethical world, yes, in real world you might ask for overtime and you might give it to them, but it's not preferable. The only option which is left is give the leave to them. It is their right. You have to respect other customs. You have to respect other customs. See, it may take some time to digest these type of questions, but trust me, slowly and gradually you will start learning these things. Okay? Next we have the fairness. No conflict of interest, real or potential, no prejudice, no favoritism, openness, integrity in making decisions, impartiality, equal opportunity. Another, let's do questions. I'm really excited, and I'm giving you these questions because I want you to learn. So let's say you are working with a contractor in a different country. So your contractor is in a different country. In a different country. You work with 10-15 folks in that country, and they are your team members. You came to know that a male employee in that contracting company, it's not your company, the male employee was promoted because he was male. And you definitely know that the female employee was more experienced and she is doing far better work than the male employee. So to be honest, you feel that the male employee was not doing a good job, but female employee was more deserving and she should have been promoted. You know for the fact, you are pretty confident about it. What will you do in such a scenario? A, request the contracting team's management to the female employee, promote the female employee. B, don't do anything because this is not your, don't do anything because that's not your company, right? It's none of your business. C, reach out to your management. Reach out to your management and tell them about this to all the department whosoever are working. So you'll reach out to your management and tell this about to your departments those who are dealing with this particular contractor. D, reject the contract. And actually I want to correct the first option. The first option was request to promote the female employee, but if they don't, then don't do anything. Don't do anything. And there is one more option, request to promote the female employee, and if they don't, then take strict actions about it. And these strict actions, if they means to cancel the contract, you'll go ahead and do that. Okay, in the exam you will only get 4 options, but I deliberately gave you 5 options, so don't be surprised about it. So first, let's see, request to promote the female employee, but if they don't do anything. Okay, let's keep it. B, don't do anything. See, this is not good, right? You have to take certain action. You can't just leave the problem as is. Reach out to your management and reach out to the other departments. What will it do? Will it really help you? Nah, right? It's not giving you a solution to the problem. Fourth, reject the contract. It's too extreme of a choice. That can't be the choice. So only 2 options are request to promote, which is option A and E. Request to promote and don't do anything if they don't. And E is request to promote the female employee but take strict actions if they don't. See, in option A, you are actually not doing the right thing. Of course you are requesting them, so you did the first step, you crossed the first hurdle, but if they are not doing it, then still you are accepting that, right? You're still accepting that they promoted the male employee when he or she is when he was not deserving at all. So you will go for option E. You will request them to promote the female employee. If they don't, then you will probably have some hard discussions with them, which there might be some reasons which you're not aware of, right? But when you have those strict discussions with them, then you will come to know about it. And if that means to reject the contract, you will go ahead and do that. Next, we have the honesty chapter. Always, understand the truth. Not just understanding the truth is important, always tell the truth, especially when it hurts. It may be difficult, but you need to make sure that you are telling the right thing. Communicate openly, don't hide anything. I don't know this, in real world, you communicate openly, you try to find the issues and, root cause, and then you communicate. But in PMI world, you should always, communicate openly. Whenever it is wrong, you should be the first one to communicate that information. Act in good faith, encourage others to tell the truth. If your if your colleague is applying for an application, PMI application, and if you know that he or she is not being honest enough, then you should be the one who should go against and complain about it. Never lie or deceive in any way. Please make sure, again, it's the same thing. In the end, it's all about truth and honesty. You have to be honest for doing the right thing. So let's do a quick revision. Focus on the code of conduct, read it at least twice. So that 8 to 9 document I'm referring to, it's a PDF file on the PMI website. Read it once, watch this video, and trust me, slowly and gradually, the more questions you will practice, you will become more confident. On the full length test on our website, you will see that there is a specific section on the professional responsibility where it will show you that you got 5, 10 questions and you got, let's say, 8 correct, 9 correct, 7 correct. Outline high level it by memory. You need to understand it. Paraphrase each chapter in a short paragraph. Try to what does respect mean? What does responsibility means? Try to paraphrase that. Take as many practice questions in this area as possible. The more you practice, it's not just for this. The more you practice, the better it is. So next topic is the foundational terms and concepts. So this next video we will talk about the terms and terminology, the glossary section, specifically the terms which are so commonly used in your real world and would be so commonly used in your PMP exam as well. Thank you, and stay calm, stay focused, and we will make sure that we get you this PMP. Thank you.